Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of All Things Delivered. I am Mary Thingvall. I'm Community Manager here at SparkPost. And just a reminder of what All Things Delivered is. It's an opportunity for us to connect with you, our community. You can talk to us live. You can tweet at us with the hashtag SparkPostLive or join us in Slack. And it gives us a chance to talk to you and answer questions in a different environment, get some virtual FaceTime with you, as well as share some of what we're up to. So speaking of what we're up to, we're almost a quarter of the way through 2017, which is kind of hard to believe. And part of the reason the year has been speeding by is that we've been really, really busy, which is a good thing. We've been at Scale in Los Angeles, BrickHack in upstate New York, Meetups in SF and New York City. We're planning for more events, and I'm getting a little away from myself, and I don't want to give too much away. So first things first, you will notice someone new here today. Jesse, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Jesse James. I am the new West Coast developer advocate for SparkPost.
Cool. So tell us a little bit about yourself, some of your hobbies, where you live, what you do in your not so free time.
the ample amounts of free time that we have. Basically for fun, weightlifting, not recently, but hiking, just getting outdoors. Love animals. Let's see where I'm based at right now. That is a very good question. West Coast is probably the closest approximation I can give. Things are in transition.
There you go. You'll be joining us in San Francisco soon at our San Francisco office there, which is awesome. And how did you get into community work? What's your background like?
I worked as a software developer for a little bit, and I love coding, but I just miss talking to people, miss getting out to conferences and not just once a year. And so when I found developer advocacy, that was just the perfect fit.
Very cool. I know you're going to laugh at me for even asking this question, but what's your typical day look like?
Well, you sit next to me. Yeah, it could be anything from meetings to scheduling proposals for events to working on proposals for talks to even just working on side projects.
Cool, cool. And what do you love most about your job?
You two.
Yay.
I do work with great people, especially in the San Francisco office, and so I feel very lucky.
It is true. We are pretty great.
It's true.
So cool.
And modest.
Indeed. All right. So welcome, Jesse. We're happy to have you on board. It's been a great almost 3 months now.
Yeah.
2.5 months. So we're excited to see what the rest of the year has for us. But let's fill folks in a little bit on where we've been. Let's give them, first of all, a quick recap of BrickHack. Aydrian, it was your second year there. Second time we've sponsored. What stood out for you?
It was really awesome. It being the second time being there, a lot of people remembered us and a lot of people used us. We also have one of our past interns, Emily, who is still a student there. So it was really nice to reconnect to her and all the people that she brought to the booth, kind of hyping us up. So it's a great kind of hackathon, even though the weather is not so nice some of the time.
Yeah, February in Rochester is not exactly welcoming, but
Yeah.
definite shout out to Emily. She was an amazing intern, and we miss her a lot. Jesse, what about you? Is your first SparkPost event? Any observations, lessons learned, unexpectedly awesome moments?
I would say kind of unexpectedly awesome was just the number of students who remembered us and made a point just to come tell us, oh, hey, we're glad you guys are back. So that for being my first event was pretty kind of nice to see. Beyond that, yeah, just seeing Aydrian in his element doing his hackathon thing, and then late night popcorn. That was a particular pleasure.
That's right. That's right. We had popcorn we were making at the booth. And from what I heard, it didn't burn once.
No, but I did almost burn out the little air popper that we brought to pop it. So that was fun.
Congratulations. So what other events have we been at? We've been at a couple different things. Scale is the last one that we were just at, and all three of us were down there, and we were joined by Nichelle, one of our product managers. If you're not familiar with Scale, it's the Southern California Linux Expo. It's a very heavily DevOps-focused event, very heavily sysadmin, old school operations folks. And it's a little bit outside of our typical event structure. So I know I had a lot of folks asking us, why we were there and what we were doing and why this one was so different from so many of the other events. And the biggest reason is that for us, our community, we have a tendency to say that our community is developers. And I think that term can be extended to folks who are in DevOps and folks who are sysadmins and folks who are running the operations side of the business for companies. A lot of them are in code all day long, every day, and that stands out. For us, the biggest thing that we can take off of your plate is that we run the mail servers for you. And it was a lot of fun having that conversation with folks who didn't really realize that that was a possibility, that they didn't need to, be the person dealing with the deliverability of their emails or calling the ISPs at 2 a.m. because things weren't working properly. So it was a lot of fun to be able to kind of solve some of those problems and have those conversations with folks. Were there any moments that stood out to the two of you?
So I thought it was really cool. One of the people who came up to the booth was a community member. So he's a Discourse user that was looking for a mail service to use after Mandrill shut down. Very excited about SparkPost, and he actually hosts a video podcast for Jupyter Networks. So I got interviewed while I was there. So I'm looking forward to that being posted and sharing that out to everybody. But it was a good conference. It was a long conference. Pretty steady stream of people coming to the booth. Had a lot of great conversations, and we were on the mug. So how cool is that?
That's true. That's true. I think we tweeted out some pictures about that. But we had our logo and things were on the mug, and they turned out really great. So it was a lot of fun to see. Jesse, what about you? Any particular observations from that?
It was a good conference. Having been in the DevOps space before, it was kind of nice to be back in that element to a certain extent. It was a good conference. The kind of kids day on Saturday was a kind of a treat, just having like kids all the way from elementary all the way to high school and college come in just to find out more. And it was good to see. It was kind of refreshing.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, the two of you have been not necessarily traveling, but going to many, many other events other than just Brick, Hack, and Scale. So how about you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, so I've been attending quite a few meetups, and there are some meetups that we pretty regularly sponsor. This quarter, I was very excited because we completed what I like to call our Q1 BoroJS hat trick. So January, we sponsored Brooklyn JS. February, we sponsored Manhattan JS, and we followed that up with Queens JS, which is really cool because the Queens JS one, they called it the Women's March of Queens JS because all of the speakers were women. One of them being Sarah Chips, who, if anybody knows of JewelBots, she was the creator of that. I'm a big fan of JewelBots, and she even gave me one to play with. So
nice.
I've been doing the challenges for that, so it's a lot of fun. The other big kind of meetup that we sponsor, we are consistently bringing pizza to the NYC Elixir meetup. Why do we do pizza? And I just say it's because we deliver. Right?
I like that.
Right? Yeah. But there was a very special NYC Elixir meetup. We were able to get Chris McCord, the creator of the Phoenix framework, to come and talk. And I think we had about 60 people show up. So it was really great and to see everybody and to hear that talk.
That's fantastic. Very cool. Jesse, what about you?
Well, Mary, as you know, we are spending a lot of time in San Francisco attending meetups, trying to find things to sponsor. And so if you're out there and you have a meetup you want sponsored, let us know. But yeah, like SFHTML5, last night, the Solid Principle group, meetup group, held a meeting. So I've been trying to hit quite a few during the week.
Cool, cool. Yeah, and like Jesse said, if you've got events you want to see us at, meetups you want us to sponsor, projects you'd like us to look at, please tweet at us, either just at SparkPost or use the hashtag SparkPostLive. You can also join us at Slack at slack.sparkpost.com. So we look forward to talking to you more about those. So we've talked some about where we've been and what we've been up to, but what's up next? We've got a lot of things on our plate for Q2. I'll start us off. The first one that I think is on our plate next is a conference called Codeland. And if you're not familiar, for those of you who are either relatively new developers or who knows some relatively new developers, it might be a conference that you're interested in. It's held in New York City. It's hosted by Microsoft at their offices in Times Square. And we'll be giving a workshop about bots and Slack bots and SparkPost and integrations and all sorts of fun things. So we've got two of our engineers coming up for that, Cole and Avi. So you'll be able to meet both of them, and I'll be there along with Aydrian and likely our other New York-based teammate. So you'll probably get to meet all of us there. So that's coming up mid-April. Aydrian, you want to touch on Signal?
Yeah, this will be our second year sponsoring Signal. So we were there last year, it's Twilio's annual conference. It's a really great kind of communications programming-based event. And it's always followed up with their Bash kind of Programmers Festival, which is one of my favorite parts because they've really created a lot of like carnival-type games around technology and communication. So one of them was texting using an analog phone. And so they would have competitions where they'd put something up on the screen and then people are using the analog phone to rapidly try to text that word or that phrase.
Awesome.
And you can gather tickets, and they have some pretty awesome prizes. So we're excited to be coming back to Signal.
Very cool. We've also got a handful of Angel Hacks. Jesse, you want to fill us in a little bit on what Angel Hacks is?
Actually, Aydrian might be better on this question.
That's fine. Not a problem. So a couple years ago, we were doing some Angel Hack hackathons. We did Brooklyn, San Francisco, and Silicon Valley. And we took some time off and really focused on improving our API and working with the college level ones. But this year we decided to come back. So these hackathons are not at the college level, more of a corporate level, but teams are competing for kind of like a startup incubator. So it's really cool. These are projects that once they're selected, we can actually follow them through the life and see how it's going. So the stakes are a little higher. There's a little bit more money involved, bigger prizes. We're planning on giving out, a year of SparkPost service and some cash. And we're really excited to get out there and see what these startup people can do.
Very
and so
cool.
we'll be doing San Francisco, Silicon Valley, and Manhattan this year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
One that's kind of near and dear to my heart is Fluent and Velocity. If you're familiar with the conferences, they are they deal with everything from front-end web developers to operations folks and sysadmins, and it's kind of a lot of where I got my start in community. It's the DevOps crowd and the dev crowd with O'Reilly Media. So I'm excited we're going to be back there for a second year this year. And stay tuned for a special community event that we'll be doing in San Jose during the conference. So we'll be sending out more information about that along the way. We've got one more event that we're set for, I believe. Aydrian, you want to touch on that since it's kind of, you have the in route to the Empire Elixir conference?
Sure. So some of the people who kind of maintain and manage the Elixir meetup here in New York have formed our regional Elixir conference. So it's in its second year, and we are sponsoring it this year. It's really cool. It's in a jazz club. It's a single track of talks all around Elixir, and it's going to be going on at the end of May. Yeah, like it's amazing to watch the Elixir community grow. It's something that is fairly new, and there's a lot of excitement around it. So we're happy to be part of that.
Awesome. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on developers.sparkpost.com. Keep an eye on Twitter. We'll be announcing where we'll be and helping to promote those events, as well as talking about some of the stuff we'll be doing there. What about some other projects we have coming up? Jesse, I know you're working on some new things.
Yeah, we have some new metrics that we're going to probably be pushing out around the beginning of April, and so there's a couple posts on that to kind of come out.
Cool, cool. What about you, Aydrian?
I play a lot with our inbound. Sorry, my dog is having issues. I don't know if you can hear that. I play a lot with our inbound relay, and I really love connecting those to other APIs out there. One of my favorite things, because I live in New York and I travel on the subway a lot, you want to listen to music, and so I'm a big Spotify user. So I came up with an integration that allows you to update playlists using SparkPost, so sending emails with songs on there, and it gets added to a playlist. So I'm working on kind of polishing that up and writing a nice blog post around it. But it's something that I'm calling Juke Post for right now. Yeah.
Awesome. And a lot of the things that I've been working on have been more behind the scenes. So curating content for developer-focused blog posts, coming up with plans for our community going forward. So stay tuned for more about that soon. There will be, I'm sure we'll have another episode of these where we'll be making some of those announcements. If you're looking for developer-focused blog posts specifically, again, you can go to developers.sparkpost.com to find those. We're working on a central place to have those located as well, so keep an eye out for that. And for right now, if you're running a meetup or an event, again, drop us a line in Slack, slack.sparkpost.com, or on Twitter at SparkPost. We'd love to support you on social media. We'd love to send you some swag, help you out in any way we can. If you have topics that you'd like us to write about, or if you've done a particularly awesome integration with SparkPost and you want to write about it on the SparkPost blog, drop me a line for that as well. You can find me on Slack. I'm at Mary Grace. You can find me on Twitter with the same hashtag at Mary _ or same username, excuse me, at Mary _ Grace, or just tweet us with the general at SparkPost handle. And stay tuned for more episodes of All Things Delivered to come. We'll be back next month with more information about different departments within SparkPost and things that we're doing for you, our community. And in the meantime, if you want to chat with us, you know where to find us, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you got. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.